Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ian Saturday Night. It's been a while because I've been writing so much, and I've just been trying to catch up on just breathing and things. But mostly I've been writing, so that's what I've been doing, and I got off track. So not much has happened. I'm glad to be talking with you again. I'm trying to keep track of my dreams. Sometimes I dream that I'm in another part of the world, like the desert, or Africa, or the coast of some European country, which is interesting. I don't know why, but those are my dreams. And right now I feel like, as I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm in the Old West. Just because of the way my face is, I'm squinting for some reason, like Gilbert Gottfried and Clint Eastwood. So I don't know what that's about, but for whatever reason, the spirits want me to conduct myself in this way with the universe. So this is what I'm doing. I saw Superman, and I thought it was good, but it was a bit noisy in the middle. But I felt David Cornsweet's performance, the main actor. I thought he was great, very much like Christopher Reeve. So, a friend of mine did not care for the movie, but for the record, I really liked David Cornsweet's performance. I thought it was great. So, and it's a fun movie. It's very much a movie like the old school, in a way. It's a little, it gets a little involved with aliens and such, but I thought it was a good addition to the Superman canon. So I think those of you who've seen it will be well pleased. There's a lot of things happening in the world. We don't know what's going to happen in the world, but it's always full of changes and ups and downs. So we just have to wait and see. A lot of times I feel the way things are going, I feel like I think we're kind of in a James Bond kind of world, where we look up to James Bond figures and we live our own lives. In pop culture, I think the mindset of James Bond is still compelling in pop culture for many of us, and that's what many of us aspire to. It kind of leaves me out of the loop because I have a limited amount of resources, so I don't live a James Bond world. So, but I think many want to. I don't think we live the average person lives in a James Bond world. I just think it's somewhat compelling that many people aspire to be in the James Bond world. And that's probably something that we have to reckon with in a real way. Why do we aspire to excuse me, why do we exactly aspire to have everything at our fingertips? And there's so many other people in the world with all kinds of varieties of experience, but people don't necessarily care about the other people. We're the Western culture I'm talking about. Western culture is fixated on this kind of billionaire kind of mindset, glamour, billionaire glamour and all those things. Where the other things like the artistic side, like the starving artist, kind of gets pushed by the wayside. So I just find that the contrast very interesting. I don't think we value intellectual pursuits as much as the outwardly show of glamour. Perhaps perhaps it's just more visually appealing than to have somebody, sweaty and cramped and eked out of an existence in a garret, kind of like my video shows. But there you go. So I find the contrast interesting. I find a lot of the imagery today concentrated on liquid means and wealth and that kind of thing, and the contrast just of daily life just interests me, because you begin to question what is more real. Is the TV world more real, or is the day-to-day life more real? Especially with AI and those kinds of things. We're finally at an age where those concepts are very liquid and moving in and out and mixing together. So it gets very confusing in a way. So the contrast interests me. And contrast is a very surrealist concept, because that's what surrealism is all about. The juxtaposition of things, the opposites. And that's surrealism for you. Surrealism is the ballet of contrast and the music of combinations, and the music of the contradictory, I would say. So I thought this would be a bunch of gobbledygook, but we're actually getting to some interesting concepts here. And you can see the poster behind me of a bosom from the movie Possession. That's a very it's a very unusual movie, and also in a strange way it's a very thoughtful movie, because there's things going on, and the environment is very much a dystopia. So it's interesting that way. And it's also interesting because it's not exactly a supernatural thing going on. It's a psychological thing about the failure of a relationship. So that always intrigues me. It's all, for those of you that have seen the movie, it's also a little like a David Cronenberg movie. So that's interesting too. I've also been watching a John Waters Film Festival list, so that's interesting. Most of them are about deviant behavior, and most of them are French movies. But John Waters has excellent, unusual taste in movies. So every movie I see, I haven't seen too many, but every movie I see on his list, there's always something to think about. So he's got a lot of that. He's got a lot of that mustache noggin of his. John Waters. The variety of experience really boggles my mind. The sheer variety of experience, the sheer number of different people on the planet is mind-boggling alone. So these are all interesting concepts. you can see more of my room here because my head is in a different position. So, but all in all, things are okay. I'm just going along in my Key West way. I'm probably I'm a surrealist version of, maybe a surrealist version of Jimmy Buffett, in a way. I'm part Renee Crevel and part Jimmy Buffett. That's a strange mix. That's a strange mix for you, but that's what talking at 2 a.m. will do to you. So I'm just going along my way. I can't say I'm lonely, and I can't say I'm jumping for joy, but I'm somewhere in the middle. And life has been going on okay. It's about 86 degrees here, but with the heat index, it goes to 109. So I don't know what that means exactly. I guess it feels like temperature. Science has never been my strong point. Literature and words always has been. And I like to paint, as many of you know. So I guess I'll leave you for this week, but tune in next week and I'll have something more equally confusing and confounding to say to confuse all of you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.